Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bringing the Heat. I'm Scotty G, coming to you live from the Equinox Performance Center here in Oklahoma City. We've got a great show. We've had some baseball guys on. We've had, some coaches on. Today we've got a guy that's been a coach, a guy that's been a baseball player, a guy that's been a basketball player, and a guy that's now an NFL player. So without further ado, I gotta introduce Codey McElroy, tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champion. He's here in the studio with us today. Cody, what's going on, man?
Scott? Good to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Appreciate you coming in. First ever in-person pod. This is going to be a great day. So, Cody coached at Wichita State. I was the director of baseball operations there. And that's kind of how our friendship started. But even before he got to Wichita State, his story is pretty cool. And I won't ruin it. I'm going to let him run through it here in a little bit. But we're going to play some Spicy 6. Like I said, we're going to play some Madden and some N64 Mario Kart for you guys today. Learn a little bit about Cody, hear his story, and obviously try to break down the walls and see what he does outside of, playing on Sundays. So, without further ado, let's get into the Spicy 6 challenge. So today, I'm a little nervous about it, I'm not going to lie. It is the Tube of Terror Carolina Reaper Peanut Challenge. 9 million Scoville. Right there on the side of it. It's, Cody, you can see it's not opened yet. Haven't tested it. There's a ton of peanuts in there, which kind of scares me. But the rules are no food or drink. You have 10 minutes to finish the tube by eating only 1 to 2 peanuts at a time. And then you have to wait 5 minutes after the final peanut to complete the challenge. So no waters here, no milk, no nothing. We'll knock this out. We'll see if I can survive and interview this guy and play some Madden at the same time. But this will be interesting. But I want to get into your story. And I want you to kind of start maybe from when you graduated high school.
Okay, so I graduated high school, Chattanooga High School in Southwest Oklahoma. It's a small school, Class B school. I had 18 kids in my class. From there, I went to junior college, Eastern Oklahoma State, and played baseball for a year. From there, I went to the University of Texas for a year and played baseball. And my junior year, I went back home to Cameron University in Lawton and played baseball there. The Atlanta Braves drafted me.
Here's the pitch. Codey McElroy scorches one deep left center. Goodbye!
The rest of that year and the next season, I played minor league baseball. Started off in advanced rookie ball in Danville, Virginia. Got bumped up to a Class A ball in Rome, Georgia. About that time was when, I thought that baseball wasn't for me and I wanted to try something else. I hadn't finished school yet, so I walked away from baseball, went back to school. Went to Oklahoma State, had a year left of eligibility at the Division I level, so I figured I might as well try to play basketball. So I was able to get on the team there at Oklahoma State and play basketball for my senior season there and graduated. Upon graduating there, I wanted to get back into baseball and coaching. Growing up, my dad was a baseball coach. That's what I always wanted to do. So I was a GA at Oklahoma State for Coach Holliday that first semester after I graduated in the fall. And then after that was when I met Scott, was at Wichita State. Coach Butler hired me to come up there, coach the infielders, work with the hitters, and I did that next year. So seeing Scott out on the road recruiting, seeing the other guys recruiting so much, kind of traveling, seeing what it's really like coaching, I felt like I was a little young to be ready to do that with my life. I had things that I still wanted to do, a little more personal time than what you get in that lifestyle. And so I went back to school and was going to get a degree in safety engineering so I could work in the oil field and kind of be home every night and live a little more normal lifestyle. When I was at school, the team had a football team, so I hollered at the coach and ended up playing football there for a year. Got some looks from some teams, and from there, the Los Angeles Rams signed me as undrafted free agent. So I was with them my rookie year, got cut after training camp was over, and kind of thought that was the end of the road with football. Thought I was going to have to move on. So fortunately enough, I was able to get into pharmaceutical sales. I was working here in Oklahoma City. It was a really good job. It was something I enjoyed, and I was really happy to do it. And after a few months of doing that, the Dallas Cowboys kind of called me out of the blue and offered me a futures contract and to come back through and do that thing. So from there, I was able to get with them, learn a lot, got some more reps, and was able to develop as a player. Had a good preseason. Ended up getting hurt. They released me, but when they released me, the Bucs signed me. Got on with the Buccaneers in the practice squad, was able to work my way up, get active last season, and I was back this year with them all year. So kind of been all over the place, but I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. So that's kind of It's kind of how I got to the point I'm at now.
Yeah, what a ride. And what a story. And I think I just read like February 9th, you re-signed with them.
Yep.
For next year. So congratulations on that. Are you ready for some Spicy Six?
Let's do it.
Right out of the gate, are you a Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas guy? Are you sponsored by anyone? Like, do you have to answer?
Nope.
Do you have to answer this question?
I'm wearing Adidas shoes and pants right now.
Oh no.
I will say that.
Well, I've already. I'm going right here.
You're correct.
That's the Nike
guy.
swoosh.
That's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
We're
just gonna ease into this. Those peanuts look a little scary. The peanuts look a little scary. I don't really want to eat any of them. If I can go 6 for 6, which I've never ever done.
I'm not gonna let you do that.
Question number 2. Who is the first person you're showing your Super Bowl ring to? I gotta go right here. I mean, that's gotta be the answer. That's gotta be it.
No.
I don't like it. I'm saying Dad.
No. So
hit me with it.
So my girlfriend, she played softball at OU. She won a World Series there. She played for Team USA. So she has a huge ring case with all of her rings and all of her accomplishments in it. And I got some jerseys hanging up and some plaques and stuff like that, but nothing that compares to that. So she'll be the first one I make sure to show that I've topped her in the ring case.
You got the ring case.
Yep.
I love it. Well, that means we're eating some peanuts. So we're gonna go these two right here. Those are pretty large.
2 large nuts. Initial thought.
That's spicy.
Is it?
Do you have Tom Brady's autograph? So I got a 50-50 chance here. It's gotta be. He's gotta have it.
So everybody got a football. The last day of the season, we passed around footballs, and everybody on the team signed it right before the Super Bowl. So I got.
So technically, you do have it, but
it's
not an individual like Tom Brady.
It's not like to Cody or nothing like that.
To
it's
Cody
everybody
from
But
Tom.
I made sure when I picked out the ball, I made sure his was on it.
No doubt.
You had to
No
make sure
doubt.
of that.
I don't. Should that count?
I don't know. You're getting off pretty easy.
I don't think that counts. I'm thinking that question was like individual, like Tom Brady to Cody, but like a team football. I don't think that counts. No. I'm thinking individual.
Thinking peanuts.
I'm thinking peanuts. I don't know why I'm going against my own self, but favorite candy bar. Cody and I have been on some bus rides together, and we've had some late night. Had to go into the convenience store, grab something. Is that how you spell that?
I don't even know how you spell it, but I know you're wrong. I don't even know if you know a fast break. Have you ever heard of fast break?
Yeah.
It's like a Reese's
I like
and a candy
fast
bar.
breaks.
Hands down, favorite candy bar. Hands down.
Thank God it's not Milky Ways.
No, not Milky Ways.
But yeah, I put Twix. I think I spelled that right, but we're not. Oh, golly.
Couple more.
Dude,
Heating up.
Is my face turning red
No,
yet?
you're handling it pretty well. A lot better than I would.
You want to try one?
Nope.
Question number 5. What is your go-to meal after the game? And I'm going to say the spread in the locker. I can't answer with just the spread in the locker room.
Right, okay.
So it's like maybe mom and dad are in town. You're going to take them to a restaurant. But God, that means like Tampa. Like I don't know the local, like the local steakhouse.
Let's do like a genre of food. What style of food?
Okay, I like that.
Nope.
Going with Italian. That's because I don't know. I was just thinking like he's gonna carb up.
No.
After
I'm gonna
game or
carb
something.
up. I'm definitely gonna carb up with Mexican food. I'm not gonna go with Italian.
Yeah.
I'd go Chick-fil-A, but Sundays is closed, so this ain't Mexican food.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to speak here in a minute. Golly. So that's 5.
5.
And I'm 1 for 4.
Well, how does that make sense?
I've gotten 1 right.
4 wrong,
1 for 5.
1 for 5.
Yeah, like the heat gets to me, bro.
There you go.
I like this one.
Okay.
Would you rather get hit over the middle by Levante David, which is the linebacker for the Bucs, or get hit by a baseball thrown by Chapman? A fastball by Chapman. So, that is a tough question.
That is a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't want to see what you're writing.
I'm going, you're going to want to get hit by the 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's what I'm gonna say too, because I've been hit by a lot of pitches, and it never made me like question playing the sport. There's been some times I've been hitting football that you're wondering, like, is this really worth it?
Should I get up? Like, can I just lay here for a couple minutes? Finally.
Okay.
You versus Gronk, one-on-one basketball game. Who wins? And be truthful here.
I'll be 100% truthful.
I'm gonna put who I think's gonna win.
Well, you're wrong. Gronk
Dude,
ain't beating me in
come
basketball.
on.
He's not beating me in basketball. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Gronk's all-time. He's a GOAT. Greatest tight end ever lived.
Well, yeah, and he's also owned the 24/7, WWE belt.
Right. He does it all, but he doesn't play basketball. I've seen his jump shot. In the locker room, guys. I've seen his jump shot. I'm beating Gronk in one-on-one.
You're beating Gronk one-on-one.
One-on-one. With the disrespectful, I think that means 4 peanuts.
No, it says one. All right. We'll do 4. All right, here's 2.
You're doing pretty good. And there's not even any cuts where you're drinking water or something. Like, I figured there was something going on, but
No.
you're just crushing it.
Mm-hmm. I do it live.
Yeah.
It may not be a live show, but I do the spice stuff live. But Gronk, I picked you,
There
dude.
you go.
I probably think you probably win, but I gotta give the people what they want to see. Who has tougher workouts, MLB or NFL?
By workouts, what do you mean? Practice, or do you mean weightlifting stuff? What do you mean?
Let's just all of it.
Okay.
All of it. I'm going MLB.
So I'm going to say NFL is tougher than MLB, but NFL is not as tough as you would think. Like, college was much tougher than professional has been, but yeah, the NFL is definitely tougher than MLB. When I was playing baseball, we didn't do hardly anything.
I get that it's kind of like sometimes it definitely in practices you're kind of standing around like waiting
Right.
for either your turn or whatever. But and I don't
Right.
know, maybe I could be wrong.
No, so
You would
this
be
is
a good
something-
guy to
right.
ask.
And this is something I always like to, like when we're having these conversations in the locker room stuff, I tell guys, like, for the most part, now there's some, but for the most part in football, you're competing against other Americans. Now there's some Canadians and there's people from other countries, but it's not near the same percentage as in baseball. You're competing against people from the entire world.
Yeah.
And so then also in football, the rosters are larger numbers than the MLB rosters are. So I do think that to make it to the highest level in baseball, I think basketball is probably the hardest, but I think baseball is definitely the second hardest. It's incredible to be able to make it there, and stick is even harder. But as far as just every day and on your body and what it takes, I think NFL is more of like a grueling sport.
There you go. There's your answer. Next question. If you were stranded on an island, who would you want with you? Tom Brady, Gronk, or Mike Evans? There's my answer.
So it kind of depends. Do you want to have a good time on the island, or are you trying to get off the island? Me personally, I don't want to be stranded on an island. Well, GOAT, who's the GOAT? We saying Tom's the GOAT? Or we
Tom's
saying,
the GOAT.
Okay, all-time GOAT.
Yeah.
If you want off the
All-time
island,
GOAT.
yeah, I'm saying Tom. I want to get off the island. I want to stay there. And he finds a way. He always finds a way. So I'm going with Tom. He'll get us out of there.
Boom. I'm doing pretty
You're
good.
rolling.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, if you've watched the show before, like I've gone 0 for 6 and just like worn it. I've gotten a couple right here, you know? Let's jump into some Madden. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
I wonder what team you're going to be.
Yeah.
We got it up on the screen. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. We're going to go 4-minute quarters, and we're going to play some Madden, and we're going to interview some Cody while I attempt to beat him in some EA Sports Madden. Do you have like a favorite sport? I mean, you've played them all, so is there one that you just like, and I'm not talking about like favorite sport to play,
Right.
but let's go favorite sport to watch.
Favorite sport to watch, I'm going to definitely say football. Favorite sport to play, I'm going to say basketball.
Really?
Yeah, basketball is definitely probably my favorite sport. And I really enjoy watching basketball too, but football, you get the limited amount of games, so you don't get to see it as much, and I think definitely football would be my favorite to watch.
There you go. There you go. Favorite to play, basketball. Favorite to watch is football.
Yep.
Baseball is a distant third.
Baseball's out of there.
Kind of slow, right?
Yeah.
Kind of slow to watch.
I enjoy baseball, though. I'm not a baseball hater.
Oh!
Let's go!
Oh no, that's gonna.
Let's go!
That definitely like you gotta.
Swagger dance.
I mean, we gotta eat some peanuts on that, right?
Yeah, I got to. There he goes
Who
with the
is
baseball
that?
swing.
No, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Who intercepted that? Who was that?
That was Sean Bunting. He's had an interception the first 3 games of the playoffs as well. Like,
Really?
tied a record or something.
So we're staying right on brand.
Yeah, keeping it rolling.
Man.
Now, he's a guy that always talks like he can beat me in basketball. And he's a good athlete, but
No?
No.
Still taking you there too, huh?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. So we've had a bunch of baseball guys on here, and you technically fit that mold. But as a football player, like tell me how big video games are in the NFL side of everything. We've heard the baseball side, but how big are video games? The guys play them like nonstop?
Huge. Yeah, nonstop. So the thing with football is, he's gonna get hit. So the thing with football is you got so much time every evening when you get done because you only play 1 day a week, so you're done at like 4:30 every day. So you have from 4:30 till you go to sleep every single day. And I think that kind of guys don't have anything else to do, so you go home, you play COD or Fortnite or whatever it is you're on. But yeah, guys, we have the setups in the locker room. You know, guys are playing nonstop. It might be honestly bigger in football than it was in baseball. Now I played baseball a while ago, so it might not have hit yet.
Right.
But yeah, it's huge, and it's definitely huge in the NFL.
Well, what about personally? Do you play them to like when you get on and play? Do you do it to wind down? Are you a gamer? Do you take your mind off things? What do video games mean to you?
So I play a little bit. I don't play as much as I used to, but I definitely do play. I do it more just kind of to pass time, and just to give me something to do. Like you say, wind down at the end of the day. You know, you're so worried about. It's such a high stress environment that it's nice to be able to come home and relax and just mindlessly play a game where you don't really care if you win or lose because you don't get that very often.
Yeah.
Just gonna feed Gronk, I guess.
Just goat to goat?
Yeah.
So you think, is Gronk the GOAT tight end?
Greatest tight end of all time. It's unbelievable. He has no weakness. It's unbelievable.
Better than Gonzalez?
I think so. And it's so cool the way he does it. Like they just tell him what to do and he just does it. And there's no ego to it. There's no, he doesn't want to block or he wants the ball more. Nothing. There's nothing like that. He just does his job. It's incredible.
That's crazy. With a huge personality, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm just going to do my job.
Right.
I'm not, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. But, all right, so you leave Eastern Oklahoma State Junior College, and you're playing baseball there. You sign with the University of Texas, and you go down and you play for the legend himself, Augie Garrido.
Yep.
In my opinion, the greatest coach of all time.
Yep.
The college baseball coach of all time. What did he do to you? What did he teach you on the mental side of just preparing for to compete?
Right.
Just tell me about what he taught you mentally and just the preparation to compete.
So he taught me so much. I mean, I'd be sitting here forever if I tried to tell you everything he taught me. But one thing that really stuck with me was one time I was watching an interview of him. It's not even something he taught me to me, but I learned it from him. So they asked him, what's it take to win a College World Series? And he said, you just got to win a game. And it sounds funny, but then you get to thinking about it, that's literally what it is. When you can take that to as small as you want to, you just got to win this rep. You just got to do your job. You just got to do what you always do. There's nothing extra. You just have to do your job, win your game, win your rep, win the quarter. Like you just have to do your job. That's all it takes. And that's something that has kind of stuck with me ever since. And I think I've become a lot more laid back and just trust the process since hearing him teach me that, because that's all it comes down to. You just got to win the game. You don't got to win a World Series. You don't got to win a Super Bowl. You just got to win the game.
Win the game.
Yeah, and that's something that's always stuck for whatever reason.
That's awesome, and it's so true. The game doesn't change just because it's the College World Series. The game didn't change just because it was the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's the same game you guys have been playing your entire lives.
Yep.
And it's those that can keep it that way and not make it bigger than it is. Yep, I threw it behind him. But yeah,
that's exactly
I love
right.
that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So you go to Cameron, you get drafted, you're going through the Atlanta Braves organization. Tell me a Brave that kind of helped you. Same kind of thing with like Augie. Was there somebody in that organization, whether it could be a roving instructor coach, it could be anybody, a player that kind of took you under their wing and just kind of helped you, try to get through it and become an MLB guy?
Right. So, you know how it goes. Depending on how big of a prospect you are and all that stuff kind of determines, go get that one. Oh, what a catch.
He dropped it.
Kind of determines, how much attention and how much work they're going to do with you. And I wasn't a huge prospect for him, but a guy that really kind of did help me out was Fred McGriff. He was a roamer, And he came to Rome my second season, and it was right before I quit playing, but he took his time to, help a guy out and taught me some things, and it was really cool because growing up, I remembered him, and he was a stud, so it was really cool. Not that we were super close or anything, but he did do some stuff with me, and he came back a couple times, and every time we'd get in the cage together, and he'd work with me one-on-one, so that was cool, and that'd be a guy that kind of stuck out to me there.
That's awesome. So, done playing baseball. Let's play some basketball. We're going to Oklahoma State. How was that just transition? You're going from hitting a baseball to now dribbling one and shooting in, a hoop. Tell me about that transition.
So it was cool. The biggest thing, to be honest with you, was the conditioning aspect, because in baseball you don't really condition much at all, and then you get to basketball, and that's like what the whole thing is. So it took a lot to get your body ready from that standpoint, but it was awesome. I'd played pickup ball when I was playing baseball. So
you got a first down. I'm gonna eat 2 more.
Okay. I'd been playing basketball, and growing up, like I said, basketball was my favorite sport. I really enjoyed it. So the basketball side of it wasn't as hard, but just getting your body back in shape and being able to run all day is kind of the thing that was the toughest.
Who was the basketball coach there at Oklahoma State when you played?
Coach Ford.
Yeah, he's now at St. Louis?
He's at St. Louis having a lot of success there. Yeah, they're really good this year.
Yeah. Do you still stay in contact with him?
Yep, stay in contact with him. His nephew is on the team, and me and him are really close. He's one of my best friends, so we talk all the time. So, and he's actually on staff with Coach Ford now. He's an assistant at St. Louis. So, yeah, I'm still get to stay in contact with all those guys, so it's awesome.
Got to him. I got to him.
He got it off.
I got to you, Tom. That's awesome. But so now you're done playing basketball. You graduate. You were a grad assistant for a little bit at Oklahoma State under Coach Holliday, right?
Yep.
Anything that you learned from Coach Holliday and the coaching? That's when you kind of started your coaching career. What did you take away from Coach Holliday there at Oklahoma State?
So I was only there for a semester, and I was a grad assistant, so probably like the most important person in the program, and that just is what it is. But something I learned from him was, I'll never forget it. He would dress in full gear and catch bullpens, and he'd dress in full gear and stand behind the plate and call balls and strikes during inter-squad games. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but like that's crazy. I've never seen a head coach do something like that.
Right.
And so that was just cool to see him, just out there with the guys, and I think you see it in how hard his guys play for him. I think it's very apparent that they got a lot of respect for him because he does things like that. And so they play hard for him, and they've had a ton of success since he's been there. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it definitely doesn't hurt,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we gave Coach Holliday some love. The guy that was an assistant coach at Texas when you were playing at Texas is now the head baseball coach at the University of Oklahoma, and Skip Johnson, in my mind, is one of the best minds in baseball.
No doubt.
What did you learn? We got to give some love to Skip here. What did you learn from Skip in your time at OU? Because I know you definitely think very highly of him as well.
Skip's awesome. I mean, Skip, since I was only at Texas for a year, and to this day, me and Skip still stay in contact. He's just an awesome guy. He's a very genuine guy. He does things the right way. He doesn't worry. Got to him. No.
Ooh, Tom, you all right? Yeah, showed a little emotion there, Tom.
Wow. 3rd and 19 now. Yeah, so Skip, I mean, he's been awesome for me. I've been able to call him when I needed advice. When I was coaching, he helped me a lot. He's always been a guy that's been in my corner and has been a fan and helped me out, and also been somebody I could look up to and ask him questions. I can't say enough about what he's meant just since I've met him, and how awesome he's been.
Yeah. So then you go from after that semester at Oklahoma State to one of the assistant coaches at Wichita State under Coach Todd Butler.
Yep.
And you meet the GOAT, the director of baseball operations, and myself.
Yes,
not
sir.
Bragging on me. But joking. There's a lot better ones out there than me.
No jokes there.
What did you start learning? Like, some of these guys really aren't that different in age than you probably were. I mean, it's pretty close. Probably the closest, definitely on the coaching staff to some of those guys. Not only that, but you coached, Alec Boehm, who went number 2 overall. Grayson Janista, who was a comp round draft pick by the Atlanta Braves in the organization that you played in.
Right.
You had Cody Hoyer, who's a big league now.
Yeah.
You had Keelan Kilgore, who's making his way up through with the Phillies, and that's been on the pod. But what did you tell these guys on hey, you're good, but you got a big mountain to climb, right? So tell me what you kind of told them, like kind of in a little bit of the locker room talk with these guys, knowing that they're big time prospects.
Right. So, I mean, I knew them guys. They were a lot better players than I ever was, and I knew that. And so I was never coming in there trying to be the young guy who wanted to act like he was older and y'all listen to me and all that thing. But I think it was good to have a guy kind of in between them and the coaching staff that could kind of relate, and I could kind of help them understand what, Coach Butler was wanting to get across and things like that, without trying to act like I was telling them what to do or in control or anything like that. Bone was a tall infielder, so I was able to relate to some drills and stuff like that. But none of that stuff made them the players they were. I think it was just probably refreshing for them to have a younger guy who wasn't trying to tell them what to do, but just trying to talk to him about it and give them some things that he thought could help them. It was the same for me. Getting to see guys that good, you're working with them, it makes your job pretty easy and enjoyable. And now you sit there and watch it, and they're all just killing it. So
they are. They're doing really well. So God, you've played at great places, and you've been around guys like Coach Augie, Skip, Coach Holiday, Coach Butler, who's considered one of the best hitting guys around.
No doubt.
Is there something that Coach Butler taught you while you were there, definitely at Wichita State, that maybe you still keep going till this day?
No doubt. So I still have a booklet with all the hitting stuff that I learned from Coach Butler that I wrote down and I kept. But now I don't coach baseball, so I can't use that much. But something I can use that I learned from him was he can talk to anybody, and he's a great people person. And you see how much that's helped him in his career. He's been able to get great players, and then all these great players he had, they're in the big leagues doing all these things, and they still had great relationships with him and would reach back to him. When I was there, he would still be talking to him. So it was cool to see the importance of having real relationships and genuine relationships with people. And I think that's something I took from Coach Butler, was just knowing that, hey man, he's had a lot of great players and done all this stuff, but they all respect him as a man, and that's why they're not hitting him up now to get help. They're in the big leagues for 5-6 years having a ton of success. They're hitting him up because they really care about him,
right.
And so that's something I've tried to keep, was being able to be open and build relationships with people, because that's something that I think he did a great job of.
That's fantastic. So now you leave Wichita State and you go to southeastern Oklahoma State to start to kind of get another master's, and start working what you're thinking is the oil field. And all of a sudden it's like, I'm gonna go down here and check out this football field. Like, how did this happen? How did this go down?
Okay, so I get there late. I get there like a couple weeks into the semester, but you can enroll like within 21 days or whatever it is that school starts. So I'm getting there like the last day you can enroll, because I had left Wichita State late. I didn't know that's what I wanted to do yet. And so I get down there and enroll, and all the classes I'm taking in the safety program, you got to take all the intro classes. Oh, Kamara's so good. You got to take all the intro classes first. And so they're all pretty easy, and I had some free time, and so I'm walking around campus and I see a football stadium. I'm like, oh, they have football here. That's cool. Cameron, the D2 I went to, didn't have football, so I just
Wichita State didn't have football.
Wichita State didn't have football, So I go look at the football stadium, and they're out there. They just got done with practice or whatever, so I just walked down there, and I knew I had one season left of eligibility at the Division II level, and so I don't know why I even did it. Like, I just saw the coach, and I knew I had the eligibility, so I just asked him, hey, could you use a body? And he was like, well, hey, do you play football? Like, I was like, I mean, I haven't, but.
Well, the high school that you went to didn't even have football, right?
Right.
So is it Frederick High School?
Chattanooga High School.
Chattanooga High School.
Chattanooga High School.
Didn't have football. Great baseball,
Right.
year-round baseball. They play fall, they play spring here in Oklahoma.
Yep.
They don't play football.
Right.
So yeah, this is crazy. Keep going.
So yeah, so I told him, I was like, I mean, no, but I haven't played football, but I mean, if you need a body, if not, it's fine. Like, I don't even know why I'm asking you this. And so he says, well, run a corner route. I said, get another one.
Gosh, dang it. I saw that coming before I even threw it.
So he said, run a corner route. So I didn't know what a corner route was. He said, so run 12 yards, run towards the corner. So I run 12 yards, run towards the corner. The quarterback throws it kind of behind me. I jump and do like a kind of Cinderella spin catch and get 2 feet in. And he's like, okay, yeah, we could use a body. Go get your physical. So he sends me, I go get my physical. And then 3 days later, we had our first game. That's the first time I'd ever put on pads, was at that game, because there's like a acclimation period where you have to go like 2 days no helmet, 2 days helmet, then pads or whatever it is. So yeah, the first day I put on pads was the first game.
I mean, when you put that helmet on, how weird was that?
Well, that's what they asked me. They said, "Does the helmet feel good?" And I was like,
I don't know how it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it fits or not. Like, I think it feels fine. And they asked the same thing about the pads. So they didn't have any pads that fit me, so I had to wear offensive lineman pads, and I'm out there catching passes all season. But I didn't know any different, so it was fine.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be, but for some reason I feel like you scored a touchdown in your first game ever playing.
So that first week, I played in the second half a little bit. I didn't play much.
That guy's good.
Yeah, he's really good. So I didn't play much. And then the next week, the second week, was when I scored the touchdown.
Okay.
And the team we were playing had a cornerback that some teams were looking at, some NFL teams were looking at him. So there was guys there watching, and I was fortunate enough to score on him and make a couple catches that game. And then from there, the word kind of got out, and people started to get interest, and it went from there.
You know, I was going to ask you what you were going to say, you know, if you're in the starting lineup on a Monday night football game and they introduce, you know, Scott Gurss, you know, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, you know, and you do that. What are you doing? Do it. Look in the camera right now and do your Monday night starting lineup.
Codey McElroy, Frederick Middle School.
Frederick Middle School. So why Frederick Middle School?
Because that's where I played football. I played quarterback in 7th grade. I had really good running backs, so I snapped the ball, I turned around and pitched it to them, and let them do their thing. It was great.
So Frederick plays. Do they high school play football?
Yep,
They do. Okay.
But that's the reason I left. I wanted to play baseball twice a year, so I played in middle school and hated it. I was not a fan of the physicality. I mean, I was a quarterback, so it's not even a physical position, but it just wasn't for me. You know, I'd played baseball and basketball my whole life growing up, and loved those two, and I didn't love football, and so we thought it'd be best to move to Chattanooga and play baseball twice a year instead of football.
There it is. I'm getting absolutely hammered, by the way. 21-0, but I will say this. The Tube of Terror is gone.
All gone.
All gone.
You did it quietly, too.
I did it quietly.
No
I mean, you kept scoring and getting first downs, and you were telling stories like you just do this with your eyes closed all the time. And I just kept eating my my peanuts here. So that's awesome. You know, we can keep going on and on with this story, but you know, your NFL journey now begins. You're trying to make a team. You're making a practice squad. Did you ever feel like you were back in minor league baseball and you just kind of saw the mountain climb was just so high that you were like, dude, this ain't for me. Like, I'm turning the pads in, and it's been a fun ride.
So here's the deal. There's two reasons I didn't. The first reason is because it was all moving so fast, I didn't even know what was happening or what was being said or what was being taught. I didn't know about defenses or offenses or three techniques or cover two. I didn't know what any of that stuff meant. So I didn't even know what was happening so fast. So I didn't have a chance to kind of be like, wow, let's do something else. And another thing was, I had been out of sports when I was coaching, and when I was going back to school, thought I was going to get my degree in safety. That I kind of realized, like, you want to play as long as you can. You know, it sucks not getting to play anymore. So it was never. I wanted to try. I didn't know if I was going to be able to stick. I didn't know like how that was going to work out, but I knew I was going to, you know, do it as long as I could and see how far I could take it. And
Was there a guy on the Dallas, you said you were with the Dallas Cowboys for a little bit. Was there a guy that you kind of, I always love this question, like, who took you under their wing? Like, who kind of made sure that, they were trying to slow it down for you because they could see, the eyes just, in the headlights. Who was it on the Dallas Cowboys that kind of slowed it down for you and helped you out?
So two things helped me a ton there. So Doug Nussmeier was the tight ends coach there, and he was a quarterback in the NFL. He really understands football, and he's really smart. And, of course, Jason Witten was there playing tight end. So not that they didn't take me under their wing, but not that they did either, but I'd get to sit in the tight end room and listen to their conversations. And just sitting in on those conversations, you learn so much, because those are two of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever been around about their profession, regardless of what your profession is. Those guys know football like crazy. And so I learned a ton just sitting there listening, just being a fly on the wall in that room. And then Blake Jarwin, who was the backup, now he's a starter at Dallas tight end, he kind of would come to me, bring me aside one-on-one and teach me the things I didn't understand or kind of help me with. And he wasn't even a starter there. We have the same agent, and he's a great guy. And so it just kind of worked out perfectly for me there. And I honestly don't even know that he knows he did that, but he helped me a ton, and it would teach me the things I needed to know. And I think that's kind of when I really started to grow as a player.
Do you think he did that because he knew you both went to Oklahoma State?
Well, we both went to Oklahoma State. We both have the same agent.
We're
both small school Oklahoma kids.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but I don't think he did any of that because I think he's just a good guy. He'd do it for anybody. He was really a good dude, and so.
I mean, and once you go from the Cowboys to who? The Bucs?
To the Bucs, yeah.
To the Bucs.
Yep.
Obviously, I hope the obvious answer is probably Gronk, but once you get onto the Bucs, who do you kind of start running with and kind of listening to and trying to learn everything that Tampa Bay's trying to do, right?
Right. So when I first got with the Bucs last year, Gronk was still in retirement, so he wasn't there. And so just kind of the tight end room as a whole, they kind of would pick me up to speed and stuff like that. But I was on the practice squad when I first signed there, so you don't really have to know the full offense yet. You get to kind of get your feet wet and ease into it and learn it at your own pace. And then, of course, when I went active, that changed, and guys started working with me more and making sure I knew what was going on because you can't afford not to out there. Every game's so important. But
this is so unfair.
Yeah.
Tom Brady to Gronk.
How many passes has a tight end caught? Like, I'm going towards the tight end.
You think I would find that like double tight end? It's unfair. I don't know any of the formations. I don't know anything that's going on. I'm terrible at Madden.
This offense is actually it's not the exact same or anything like that, but they kind of got
close.
some like concepts and stuff. Yeah, it surprises me.
That's cool. Great graphics.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Oh no.
Oh.
Leonard.
How cool is that guy?
Lombardo Lenny. He's awesome. He's a freak. Like, he's unbelievable.
And I gotta ask, Antonio Brown gets signed. It walks into that locker room. What are you guys all thinking?
We're going to win a Super Bowl. I mean, right? I mean, he's unbelievable. He's so good, and everybody else on the team was so good. It was like, this isn't even real.
And talk to me about Antonio. Like, there's so many mixed emotions, especially out in the media and what the media does on him. But like, you and I have talked. Like, apparently, and I believe, he's a great guy.
Great guy. He would give me pointers, and he was a really humble guy.
Just a big football guy.
But that's what stuck out to me the most. Like, he loves football. He's all about football. He works he shows up to practice every single day like he's a practice squad guy. Oh no, wrong button. Like he's trying to keep his job, and he's Antonio Brown. He just loves football. He can't get enough of it. He gives it everything he's got. He was fun to just watch him work, and then obviously he helped us a ton, had a ton of success. And it'll be exciting. It's got to have resurrected his career. I'm excited to see what he does next year.
Yeah, and that has to mean for Tom Brady to be like, hey, he has to know that this guy is all about football.
Right.
Because Tom tried to got him at New England,
right.
And he obviously wanted to play with the guy because he probably knows that he can talk to him, and they're both all about football.
Right.
So. It makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying now of the dude's just a huge football guy. But tell me how hard it was on everybody in that locker room going through a COVID-19 season and just trying, the protocols. He's going to throw one.
He's going to throw one.
Tom's going to throw one. But the thing is, he's got that great defense behind him that he can risk it a little bit, especially when you got how tall is Mike Evans? I think he's like 6'7".
Yeah, he's probably like 6'5", but his arms are so long.
Yeah.
He can jump. He plays like he's 6'7".
You can take that risk and throw it up there, and if every once in a while it gets intercepted, you're probably going to get one back here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, take me through that of just how hard the COVID-19 season was.
It was definitely difficult, and you had a lot of things. We had to get tested every single morning at 6:30 a.m. So that's how you start your day with the nasal swab, and you obviously can't go out and do the things that you usually do as far as going out to eat or going out after games and just getting together with the guys, just whatever it is. You kind of isolated a little bit. But I think for us it was easier because everybody knew like we were trying to win a Super Bowl. And for some teams that aren't as good and the players know they're not going to win, it was probably tougher for them because they probably had other interests they wanted to do. But for us, everybody was kind of on the same page. We never had any big outbreaks, and you know, they did a great job. The testing ladies, they had all of our stuff ready when we got there every single morning. They were always in a good mood. Good morning, how are you? You know, it was kind of refreshing to see them every morning and get you woken up and get you started your day right. And honestly, yeah, it was a little bit of an inconvenience, but if that's what you got to do to play in the NFL, that's okay, you know. From day one, you know, BA was telling us, like, you got to beat COVID first. You got to beat COVID every single week, and then you got to beat your opponent. But first thing you got to beat is COVID. You can't have guys out. You can't have the outbreaks. Like, it's just so tough to win like that. And you saw it with teams that would get in trouble. You can't practice and things like that. So that was the key. You got to beat COVID every week, and they, you know, the coaching staff, the front office, everybody involved did a great job of putting everybody in a position to be able to beat COVID every week.
Yep, I love that. So we talked about it before. Tom or Drew. Drew's not a scrambler, but we talked about it a little bit before. Congratulations again on re-signing with the Bucs.
Thank you.
What's the goal now? What's your personal goal?
So my goal is, first and foremost, to just stay healthy and play football as long as I can. And what that means is hopefully next year I'm able to get on a 53-man roster for the whole season and stick and bring something to the team, be able to help the team however I can. I'm really enjoying it. You know, I think I kind of know my role and who I am as a player, and I'm just trying to capitalize on that and be the best that I can be.
It's pretty good.
You know, I could sit here and tell you a bunch of things, but about every year it changes for me. So it's hard to say what a long-term plan is.
I don't know if you're going to be like NASCAR driver next, or, you know, you're going to go hit the PGA.
Hey,
I've seen you swing a golf club, though, so I don't think you're going to get there.
PGA's on the books, but NASCAR, so the pit crew guys, there's a bunch of, so you have to have tryouts and stuff for that. And there's a bunch of former like offensive linemen and stuff that do it because you have to be so strong to carry the tires and put it on there and switch it, and like it's a competitive thing. And before I started playing football, I thought about that. I was like, that could be something, but
I just created a monster.
That might be the retirement plan.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we got the jersey here, 86. Now, were you just given 86, or did you get to pick 86?
No, I was given 86.
Just given 86.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody in the locker room that kind of knows your story, do they ever go, hey, Cody, let's go to the cages? Is there any, like, baseball banter? I mean, do any of these guys just say, like,
let's go?
Oh, my gosh.
No, there's not any baseball, but everybody thinks they can beat me in basketball. And I'm like.
So that's the thing?
They all think they're hoopers, but they're not. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They all wish they would have played baseball. They're like, everybody, like, they're all like, man, I wish I'd have played growing up, because they see how much money those guys make. But I'm like, what you don't understand is everybody doesn't make $400 million or whatever Trout signed for. Like, and you don't get that till you've been in the league for like 8 years either.
Right.
You know, football, the money's quicker at a younger age, but the minor league system and then the arbitration and all that stuff in the MLB is crazy.
So we kind of hit on it a little bit, but you played with Tom Brady, you've played with Gronk, you've played with Mike Evans. Tell me about their work ethic that you see, and the mindset that they have every single day that they come with.
So the first thing that just kind of jumps off is no days off for any of them. Like, when they're out there, they're intent, they're focused, and they're doing what they need to do. And I mean, that's what it comes down to. When you're able to play the game for a long time, you're going to naturally get better if you're doing it the right way every time. You know, it's not as much about, you know, the other stuff as it is showing up every day to work, intent, and ready to get better. And all three of them guys, I mean, every day they're out there, they're doing that.
No days off.
No days off when they're on the field. Now, an off day is an off day, but
Tom Brady's the same guy every single day.
Every single day. All three of those guys you just named, every single, you know exactly what you're going to get, and that's a very high level, and that's every single day.
I don't want to, like, you know, go over the boundaries of what you can and cannot tell me, because I know it's a tight locker room, but like when Tom Brady talks, obviously everybody listens, right?
Right.
I mean, he's got the whole locker room's attention.
He's got everybody. I mean, he's got everybody's attention, though. You know, that's just, it's crazy to think about it. Like, it's being Tom Brady. You know, it's crazy.
He's the GOAT.
Like, exactly, he's the GOAT.
How good has he been to you?
He's been great. So he gave me a little tidbit in training camp that's changed my entire like way I look at the game of football. So I got in trouble because I caught a pass and I turned upfield and I was running and I had the ball loose, like palming it in my hand instead of tucking tight, and I'm running, and then when the guys get close to tackling me, then I covered it up, and I didn't fumble or anything, but the coaches were on me about, get the ball tight, don't be carrying it so loose. And, you know, it's yes, sir, but in my head, I'm thinking nobody was around me, like they weren't going to get the ball. It's no big deal. It's fine. And then, so Tom comes up to me after, like later on in the day or whatever, and he's like, hey, so with that situation, he's like, I get it. Like, you're fine when you're running with the ball. Like, they're not gonna, you were never going to get the ball stripped from you. When they got there, you covered up. Like, I see what you're saying. He said, but that defensive coach on the other side, as soon as they see that on tape, he's telling every one of his players, he doesn't have good ball security, try to strip it from him when you tackle him. So every single time you get tackled, now all of a sudden, you're not just getting tackled, they're also trying to get the ball from you, and that makes it hell for you to try to have to go against that, you know? And so just thinking about the game like that, oh wow, it's not about me, it's about what they're seeing and how they're gonna approach me.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought about it like that. I was thinking, the ball's safe, secure, I didn't fumble it, I'm good. But really, you're showing them something that you don't want to have on tape. And that's it's kind of just changed my entire way I view the game of football, and I think it's helped me a lot.
That's crazy. That's an awesome story right there.
Yep.
Obviously, we got 17 seconds left here.
I'm running a play.
I'm down 28-7. I'm going to try to keep this closer than what Kansas City did in the Super Bowl. I'll take that as a moral victory if you don't score a touchdown here.
Throw it up to Mike. Get out of bounds. We get one more.
He's just going to run the score up on me right here. You know, I'm over here in pain, eating spicy peanuts and getting my tail kicked here. And obviously, I'm not going to be an offensive or defensive coordinator in my future, but I'm going to try to make sure that you don't score one last time.
Oh, no, he had it. Let him get there.
Boom, 28-7. I'm celebrating that I lost 28-7. Obviously, I'm going to lose to the NFL guy, right? So here's the jersey. Pretty sweet jersey. We're going to switch it over and play maybe 1-2 races real quick in some Mario Kart, and we'll be right back.
All right.
We'll knock out some 2-player Grand Prix. You want to go 150?
150.
All right, we'll go 150.
150. Who are you?
I'm Toad. I'm always Toad.
Oh, no, you're second player. You're going to be
That's
on the
all
left. Let's switch. I think your screen's going to be over there, isn't it?
Okay. So we got to, anyways, we'll figure this out. We'll get this right. All right, so now I'm the first player.
I guess I'll go Bowser.
Ooh.
Big body.
Big body Bowser. Which cup you want to go?
Mushroom.
Mushroom cup? All right.
Here we go.
We're doing all 4 of them. We're doing the Grand Prix, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, top and bottom. I'm at top.
How
Here
about
we go.
these graphics? Oh, it's top and bottom. I guess
This will be perfect. These graphics are fantastic. Way better than Madden.
Oh.
Oh, we're playing it, and we're okay. All right.
I'm spinning out.
How's 8th place? How's 8th place sound?
And see, this is what I was talking about. I said, I don't know about Madden, but I'm good on here. Oh, no.
Let's see. This is going to be hard to interview. So while we're playing, I'm in second, now I'm in third. Dude, you got to share a funny Gronk story. We cannot get out of here until you tell a funny Gronk story.
Okay, so funny. Okay, so we were getting ready to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and this is a Thursday before we play. And we just get done with meetings and we're about to head out for practice. And Gronk says, man, Thursdays suck. There's just not any motivation to practice. And we all kind of look around like, is the Super Bowl not motivation to go out there and practice? But I guess when you play in it as many times as he has, it's really not that big of a deal, but we all thought it was pretty funny the way.
It kind of goes back to that mindset of it's just another game, right? I'm just going to take it as another game.
Exactly
like all he talks
did
about.
it.
And so that is funny. That is funny. How, gosh, you're in second?
I'm in second.
I've fallen to 7th. Did you take like Like a shortcut?
No shortcut. Wow. See, when you get in the back, you get the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back up, man.
How's it? Peach? Look how far out in front Peach is, too. Peach is nice. You're lying.
Let's go.
Oh, well, I got the red turtles for you.
How freakishly athletic is Mike Evans?
Oh, yeah, he's unbelievable. And he's so skilled, too. Like, he's not just athletic. He's so good at football, and he's so good at getting open. He's really, really good.
I mean, Brady's got to love having him, right?
Right.
Is that you? Did you do that?
Nope.
So that was the computer. Oh, I can't use it while I'm little. Oh, my gosh. I think I see you. But Nintendo, how much did you play this game?
Oh, so much. Like, even through college and stuff,
Gosh, I
we'd
got
play.
fourth.
Wow, Peach is way up there.
A lot of Nintendo? Is this your favorite Nintendo game right here?
No doubt, no question. I played the 007.
Yes,
what was it
I
called?
love GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yeah. I played that a lot. I played NBA
No
Street.
question. Yeah. Blitz? Did you ever play Blitz?
I played some Blitz. Not as much as NBA Street in this. But
Yeah?
I played some Blitz.
Love it. Love it. So, when you first got in the locker room and you saw the Dominican Sue, were you like, oh my God, that is a humongous human being?
Yeah, so when I was with the Rams, he was out there too. So I got to see him a couple years ago, and he's a stud. But he's a great dude. He really helps the young guys. I mean, he's not what you would think from how he plays, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, he plays to win.
Right.
Sometimes people don't like that. And but like, yeah, so great dude, been good to you.
Yep.
Everywhere
great
you've
dude.
been, obviously.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's a physical game like football. You're gonna get fired up every now and then playing. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it gets foggy probably sometimes, you know.
Right.
All right, so we've kind of gone through your timeline, but we've missed one really important. Tell us about the water parade, the boat parade.
Yeah.
That you guys did there in Tampa. I've seen pictures on your Instagram. On the boat, smoking a victory cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Living it up. Tell us about how awesome that was. That experience.
It was awesome, and so it was on the boats. It wasn't like a normal parade, which was really cool, and the fans were crazy, just lined up the entire river walk, and yeah, we were out on the boats, had the juices flowing, had the victory cigars. It was awesome, man.
That's awesome. Like how long was it? Like
it was
an all day thing?
It was probably like 2.5 hours or so, 2 hours.
I mean, Tom looked like he had a good time.
He looked like he had a really good time.
Were you on the receiving end of when he threw the trophy?
No, I wasn't. A fellow tight end was.
Who caught it?
Cam Brake. Cam Brake caught it. No.
Was he like, are you really going to throw this to me, Tom?
I couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
Awesome.
Have you held the trophy?
I have, yeah.
You've got a photo with the trophy?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Did you see who got first there?
Yeah, I did.
Boom, baby!
Well, I thought we had one more. God.
You thought we had one more lap?
Yeah.
That's so.
Hey, yesterday I practiced on the Switch.
Yeah.
The Switch, yeah. But it's not
You've
the
got a
same.
Switch?
Uh-huh. It is not the same at all.
That's so funny. So you live now here in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
What are you gonna do this off? What's this off season? What are you doing?
So we don't know if we're gonna have OTAs and all that stuff again this year. Like last year we didn't. It all got canceled, so we had the entire off season off. So I don't know if we have OTAs. That starts in like April, and it'll go to the middle of June, and then we'll get about a month off before training camp. But if not, then I'll be here until training camp starts, and gonna try to train and stay ready. I got some other things that I'm trying to get into, so hopefully I'm able to get that moving and start doing that stuff and go from there.
Gotcha. Do you make it back home to Chattanooga? Is parents in Fredericks? No,
so they live in Perkins now.
Perkins now.
Now my sister moved a lot a couple years ago, so she lives down there. So I get back down in Southwest Oklahoma. My grandma still lives down in a town called Davison, which is close. So I do get back down there a little bit still, but not as much as I used to.
Is your dad still coaching high school baseball?
No, so he's a superintendent now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. And girlfriend works for Team USA softball?
Yeah, so she's the director of sport development for Team USA. And so she's got a great gig. And
now she was an outfielder.
Yep, center fielder.
And you were a shortstop, infield, first baseman, whatever you want to call it. I mean, who's the better hitter?
I mean, I got to say she is.
Oh, wow.
But here's the thing. So, I mean, I can't say she's not. She was a 4-year starter at OU, played for Team USA. Like, she's a stud, in one sport. And that's what I always tell her. Like, I get it, and it's great and cool and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but.
That is funny. You put an asterisk next to it.
Right. But she'll let me know every once in a while. Like, when I start to feel pretty good and get to going about it, she'll let me know. She'll put me in my place. Oh, my gosh. I'm playing.
I don't know if you see this or not,
Oh,
but I've got like the infinity amount of mushrooms right now, and then just absolutely on a tear.
I got to hit that shortcut.
I'm trying to lap you.
If I hit this shortcut, I'm going to pass you. That one right there.
I know.
He missed it. Uh-oh. Give me a boost. Oh, I got the turtles. No!
I'm in second, too. There's somebody in first? This is crazy. I don't remember it being this hard.
I know. Go get him. Golly.
Best guy in the locker room at video games.
I go with my guy T Hud. He's a fellow tight end, and he's pretty good. He plays COD. He plays pretty much everything, but he's on COD right now, and he's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dang, you're going to take the lead right here. We got one more race.
And to lead us into that last race, we got to talk about something then the first thing that happened to you when you caught your first NFL pass in an NFL game. Did you keep the football? 2, just like what was going through your brain?
So I don't think it was the actual ball. Golly. I don't think it was the actual ball, but I did keep a ball from that game. So I have a game ball from that game. And I don't know, I was just excited. Like, I don't really know what I was thinking, but I was excited and I was fired up and I was just excited.
And it was the first one that ever was thrown to you, right?
Yep.
Like you didn't it took me, 3 drops to get my first one or something like that.
I knew it was coming to me. So Jameis told me in the huddle, he was like,
oh, so you caught it from Jameis?
From Jameis, yep. And he told me, he told me he was coming to me, and he did, and so, yeah.
He just said, hey, I'm throwing you this football right here. Well, that's pretty good. It's like, all right, I know this one's definitely coming to me, so.
Get ready.
Be ready.
Get open.
You're probably going to the line like, just don't get sacked.
Right.
Don't get sacked. Let me at least get the pass off.
Well, or don't drop it.
Well, yeah. We'll get to that point, but yeah. And it was 30 yards, first down, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you do the
I had to do the first down, Sally. You know what I mean? You got to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you watch? I would watch that like over and over again on tape of just my first catch.
Yeah, no, I got it. I had it saved.
You got it saved?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
How many times are you gonna get these super shrooms?
Sometimes it just goes well for me. I mean, that's so great. So like, how many plays off, just ballpark figure of you think you were in before you're like, am I gonna get one here?
So I think so. Yeah, I was out there and I lined up out wide and like ran a guy off on a run play, and then the next play was the play that.
It was that fast.
Yeah.
Those baseball guys, they can, like I said, you can go like 0 for 10 before you get your first ever, MLB hit and stuff like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get one? So that came quick for you.
Yeah, but it was towards the end of the year, so because I was on practice squad pretty much the whole year, so it definitely didn't come quick. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
But in the,
as far as the
in
game
the actual
goes,
game,
yeah.
That's awesome. So, I mean, obviously, a great athlete yourself. Is there a sport that you love playing that, you know, that you do as like a hobby? You know, golf, bowling?
So I'm terrible at golf, but I do disc golf a little bit. And I'm not great at disc golf, but I'm pretty decent, and it's fun. Tanner Hudson, I was telling you about a while ago. Yeah, you had a chance to win it.
I had a chance to win it, and I did not get it done.
We'd go play disc golf on off days sometimes. That's something I enjoy doing. It's fun. There's some courses. I started playing at Cameron. We had a course on our campus, and it was lit up. So at night you could go out there when the weather was nice. And so that'd be kind of the only other thing I do.
Am I going to finish 6th in the Cup?
No. Second.
To yours truly.
You hate to see it.
So bringing the heat champion right here, Codey McElroy. Before we sign off, I got to rank the Tube of Terror. 1 being as hot as a cucumber, 10 being as hot as like volcano lava going across your skin, scalding hot. Let's give the Tube of Terror 8.1. First ever 8.1 on the Bringing the Heat. It was hot. It was spicy. It got into the throat. It got into the stomach and the chest. Cody, really appreciate you coming in studio with us today. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for everything. Check him out on Twitter is it Cody Mac?
Instagram, Cody Mac 580.
580.
Yep.
Check that out. He is on Twitter too. Do you know that one?
It's Cody Mac 24.
I think it is Cody Mac 24.
Yeah.
So appreciate everything that you've done, and it's been a fun ride, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I appreciate you having me. I enjoyed it.
You know, everybody just don't quit what you're trying to do, and if you have to, you know, move to something else. This is another story where the multi-athletes, if you're one of those high school kids that you got coaches telling you just play one sport, this is your fact check right here, man. Play them all, enjoy it. I'm sure Cody would say the same thing, is just play them all and have fun with it. Just continue to work hard and make sure you're working on that craft and don't short yourself. But with that, guys, again, Cody, thank you for being on the show. Everybody, be kind to each other on and off the headsets. Good night.